WeatherScope.
Well, the morning commute in Atlanta was a raucous affair today. Hail pounded down on cars and made the roads slippery. Hail in Atlanta. Ponda on the streets made matters even worse now. The weather caused a number of traffic accidents in the Atlanta area this morning. Some resulted in fatalities. And we're going to be reporting on what's going on not only in Georgia but up the East Coast now with Mike Bono.
That's right, Bob. Yes, the stormy weather continues in one form or another. We had a couple of nights of very rough and stormy weather in Florida. Now our low-pressure system is moving up through the Mid-South and is redeveloping, actually, in the process of picking up the winds on the East Coast, and will move to the East Coast or the Middle Atlantic coast the next day. Well, let's take a look at some of the severe potential that we have. Still some strong thunderstorm potential in South Florida, although right now it's not looking severe. And there's always a chance another strong thunderstorm could pop up in parts of Tennessee, Alabama, and in Georgia. But the severest threat is east of the Savannah River now in East Tennessee and on up into Virginia, North Carolina, for a chance of more severe thunderstorms developing. We have a severe thunderstorm watch, the remains of the activity that went through Atlanta, now posted in the upstate of South Carolina, parts of Georgia. But it looks like that system's going to move on into the heart of South Carolina. Places like Charlotte and Greensboro and in maybe even Columbia, South Carolina, are in a tornado watch well into the afternoon, so we have to be on the lookout in those areas. Well, it was a rough morning in Atlanta. Just about the time folks were driving to work, the rain started coming down in sheets, and look at this flooding going on the roadways. There was hail. Here at the Weather Channel, it was up to the size of marbles. There was reported dime-size hail, and some of these waters were sweeping hail into drifts that were 4 to 6 inches deep on the side of some roads. Unfortunately, some head-on collisions, 2 of them, took the lives of 3 people in the Atlanta metro area during rush hour, so a very serious situation there. And some of that storminess has moved on into the Carolinas. Some very heavy flooding running out ahead of that activity in Atlanta. And right now on the line we have Karen Wagley from the Emergency Services in Onslow County, North Carolina. Ms. Wagley, tell me what's going on right now in your area.
Yes, Mike. The severe rainfall that we had throughout the night and the early hours of the morning has resulted in the decision for school to be closed for the day. Initially, it was going to be delayed for 2 hours, but with the onset of daylight and looking and assessing the damage throughout the county, they decided to call off school. The community college is closed, and we have 15 to 20 roads with limited access, only with the use of high-wheeled vehicles. We have approximately 50 to 60 mobile homes and residential homes that are isolated due to high water. 6 to 8 of those have various levels of water in them. Of course, with situations like this and weather fronts like this, we're very concerned with our municipality and our barrier island of North Topsail Beach. We have a report from them. They do have standing water on some of their roads. They had some problems with some leaning power poles this morning. That has been corrected. As far as severe beach erosion, they have not been able to assess that. I believe they're around high tide about 11:30 or 12, so we should be getting a report from that area of the county later on.
Okay, it sounds like the damage won't be able to be completely assessed until the water goes down. Any effects on the drinking water in that area?
No, we don't have any reports of that. We do have some reports of about 25 or 30 septic tank systems underwater, however, that might result in some problems.
So that's always going to be a problem.
Right.
Okay, thank you very much, Karen Wagley from Emergency Services in Onslow County, North Carolina. We appreciate it. We look at the radar right now, and you can see the 2 different systems. Actually, the one that brought all that flooding to Onslow County, now moving offshore, that was the real tropical air coming up from, say, the Bahamas that fed into that. But another cooler system that you can see as a bow-shaped area that had moved through Atlanta is now affecting South Carolina, and still a tornado warning and some indications of damage in South Carolina. You can see it on the edge of the screen in Lawrence County, and in Greenwood County we had a possible tornado and hail damaging cars. So 2 separate storms moving in tandem, but the atmosphere is still very unstable, and there could even be developing storms, as you saw by that tornado watch that's now in effect in South and North Carolina the next few hours. Also, there are a lot of fronts coming together, a occluded front in purple, cold front in blue, and warm front in red, and that confluence of fronts is often a trouble zone for severe weather to develop, often contributes to a spin in the atmosphere and the development of tornadoes. But it's drier and becoming more windy in the deep south today. However, in South Florida, we still have some showers and thunderstorms that will drop heavy rain, but so far they're not really rated as severe in Palm Beach County and moving on toward the Fort Myers and Naples area. However, up the coast, with the wind coming onshore pretty handily, gusting over 60 miles an hour at the Duck Corps of Engineers Pier lately in North Carolina, we have coastal flood advisories for high water and also heavy surf advisories all the way down to Savannah, Georgia. Let's not forget the gale warnings up to Chatham, Massachusetts, as we have high and low pressure coming together. Now we look at the possibility of a northeast winter storm. There's some freezing rain and sleet mixed in some of the southern tier of New York State, and the winds have been picking up on the Jersey Shore, Maryland coastline up to New York City. Pretty heavy rain all the way back to Cleveland. So this situation is just developing right now. And yes, we have the chance of snow and sleet and freezing rain, New York State Thruway, Mass Pike, and northward as we go on through the day. So the situation continues to evolve. Again, we'll keep you posted on the severe weather threats in the south and deteriorating weather to the northeast here on the Weather Channel.
Severe storms have disrupted the southeast again today, bringing heavy rain, high wind, and even tornadoes to the region. The unsettled weather is being caused by a fast-moving system that's headed towards the northeast. We've got the details on what's happening in the forecast center is Mike Bono. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Lisa. Thanks a lot. Well, we've had an evolving storm situation from the Gulf of Mexico hammering Florida for 2 days in a row, and even to a degree today. And now the rough weather moving into the Mid-South and up the Atlantic coast slowly but surely. We can take a look at the severe potential that we have in the Carolinas and back on down through South and North Carolina with some strong thunderstorms outwards toward parts of Tennessee. And I was just looking at some damage reports from East Tennessee, some 1-inch hail and some wind damage this morning. And right now there's a severe thunderstorm watch still in parts of South Carolina and northeast Georgia for the next little while. And also that got upgraded to a tornado watch as the system moved eastward in South Carolina and on into North